Plate Teaching Kitchen, where we're changing the conversation around food and nutrition so you can meet your health goals with less stress in the kitchen. I'm Jeanne Petrucci, registered dietitian nutritionist, and earlier this week we posed the question, what to do with natto. We had picked up natto at the grocery store and didn't really know what to do with it. We were just super curious, and the consensus is that you enjoy it with rice. So what I'm going to do today is just take you through a quick recipe we developed, and we're going to incorporate natto into that. We are going to be using frozen cauliflower rice instead of traditional white rice. That helps keep the glycemic index lower and gives you some added antioxidant benefits from the cauliflower as well as some vitamin C. So let's get started making the recipe. Natto is a fermented soybean. It's fermented with probiotics, so it's very high in probiotics, super helpful, but again was a little scary because it is slimy and goopy and mucilaginous and all of those good things. So we're hoping that by incorporating it into this cauliflower stir fry, it's going to make it more palatable. So we're going to get started by taking 1 tablespoon of sesame oil and 1 tablespoon of olive oil, and we're going to put it into our preheated pan here. We're going to add a bunch of vegetables. We've pre-shredded some green cabbage, so we're going to add that first. You always want to put the vegetable in the pan that's going to take the longest to cook. So the cabbage is very firm. We're going to add that first. I'm going to actually turn up the heat here a little bit. And we're going to let this saute a little bit. And we're going to follow that with some garlic, some scallions, ginger. So that'll be really nice. And then we're going to move on to add our cauliflower rice. We chose to use frozen cauliflower rice just to save some prep time. But I actually am going to show you how to shred some cauliflower for cauliflower rice. And we shredded some carrots, we shredded some zucchini just because we had it. And zucchini season is right around the corner, so this will be a great thing to do with it. We have some mint, chopped mint, to keep it light and fresh. We have cilantro, lime juice, soy sauce, and then, of course, our natto. As a reminder, to those of you who didn't see the earlier post, this is what natto looks like. You can probably see that from the distance. Super goopy, super stringy, and again, we're hoping by adding it to this cauliflower stir fry, it's going to make it a little less scary for all of us. So while the cabbage is sauteing and softening, I'm going to show you how to create cauliflower rice. You have so many options these days. You could actually buy it pre-riced fresh at the grocery store. You could buy it frozen. You could pulse cauliflower florets in your Cuisinart until they're, the texture of rice, or you can take a box grater and do what I'm going to show you today. So you just take the cauliflower head, cut it in half or quarters depending on the size, and then you just run it across your large grating blade on your box grater, and super easy to do. If you're going to have children doing this, you might want to have them wear a cut glove because it does get close to the blades as you get down to the core. So I'm not going to shred the whole thing, but you get the idea. And here is our cauliflower rice, and you can see it's very fine and fluffy. Only takes not even a minute to cook, so we love it. Okay, so our cabbage has softened very nicely, starting to brown actually. And we're going to add our garlic, about 2 or 3 cloves of garlic, about 3 or 4 scallions. This isn't a science like baking, so you can really add more or less according to your preference. And then we have about 2 teaspoons of freshly grated ginger. You absolutely could use powdered ginger if you wanted to. Maybe a teaspoon, 3/4 of a teaspoon to a teaspoon of dried ginger root if you'd like. Okay, so that's smelling really nice and getting brown. Now we're going to add our cauliflower rice. So this is about, I'm going to say about 3 cups of cauliflower rice. Stir that in. Now these are all going to cook very, very quickly. So our shredded carrots are very finely shredded, so they can go in with the cauliflower rice, and our zucchini, which is also finely shredded. So now we have a lot of colors going on here as well, which is great. For those of you who watch our videos regularly, you know we talk a lot about phytochemicals. So the more color you have in a dish, the more phytochemicals, aka antioxidants, you're going to be getting in that dish. Terrific. So we're going to let this cook down a little bit, and then we're going to add some of our flavor enhancers like our lime juice, our soy sauce, and our herbs, and we're going to come back in just a few minutes and show you the finished product. Okay, we're back. The vegetables have cooked down nicely. They're soft enough to start moving forward with the rest of the recipe. So I'm going to take the lid off here. You can see nice release of steam. Everything is soft and well incorporated. Again, we have cabbage, cauliflower rice, carrots, zucchini, garlic, ginger, scallions, wow, all good. Some sesame oil and olive oil. We actually did a half and half. Sometimes if you use all sesame oil, the flavor is just a little bit too much. So we did half olive oil, half sesame oil, but you can really use any combination of oils you want. So now we're going to add some soy sauce to add some saltiness. I'm going to add a splash of lime juice to give it some tang. And then we're going to stir in our mint and our cilantro. I'm going to remove it from the heat and just stir the herbs and the seasonings in before I add the natto. Now, the natto is a living food. The bacteria, the healthful bacteria, are very sensitive to heat. So we don't want to cook the natto. We're actually just going to stir it in before we eat it. So I'm going to let this cool down just for a sec here before we stir in the, that looks great. Before we stir in the natto, again, here is the natto. I have some tasting bowls. So we're going to do a little bit of fear factor here in the Living Plate Teaching Kitchen. So intern Leah drew the short straw. Actually, it's not true. She raised her hand very quickly. She's going to jump in and test this with me. It is the first time either one of us has ever had natto. So you want to come on in, Leah? Mm-hmm. Okay. Ooh, look at that. What do you think? It's stringy. It's stringy. Okay, let's make sure we get it all in there, all that healthful bacteria. You're saying to yourself, yeah, Jeannie, right? Okay, here we go. Let's stir it up. Kind of like a gumbo. Yeah. Right? A little stringy like a gumbo. So, you know, the mucilaginous property of the natto, it is very similar to okra. Which makes gumbos thick, so well, it has thickened things a little bit. Okay, great, so here we go. I'm gonna serve us up some of this stir fry. Okay, and I'm gonna actually garnish it with a little bit more lime juice. I love my stir fries a little tangy. Okay, you ready, Leah? Oh, yeah. Whoa, it is stringy. Good, right? Yeah. Kind of tastes like tempeh, which doesn't really have as strong a flavor as I thought it would. Yeah. I think that might be because we added the ginger, we added the lime. There's so many flavors going on in here. Wow, yeah. Tempeh too. Yeah. I could totally eat this for lunch, and I'm going to. So, Anna, you'll join us? Oh, yeah. Okay, terrific. So it passed the test. We can make this, right? We can totally do this. So let me just show you guys what the finished product looks like. Thank you, Leah. So here is the finished product. It's a beautiful cauliflower rice stir fry loaded with vegetables. And now we have a solution for eating natto. I hope that you enjoyed this segment, and anytime we find a unique or innovative food product, we're just gonna grab it and bring it into the kitchen and see what we can do with it. So see you next time in the kitchen. Take care.